Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, your go-to destination for in-depth political analysis, commentary, and hard-hitting truth on the state of South African politics. Today, we are diving into a story that's sending shockwaves across the country, a decision so controversial, so politically tone-deaf, that even Jacob Zuma's most ardent defenders are struggling to explain it. The uMkhonto weSizwe party, or MKP, has appointed a man directly implicated in state capture as its chief financial officer. Yes, you heard that right, the very same state capture scandal that brought the nation to its knees. This move has been met with outrage not just from opposition parties, but also from political analysts, civil society organizations, and even members within the MKP itself. As one senior political strategist close to the MKP bluntly put it, this isn't chess, it's just a pure blunder. And many agree. This appointment is being seen not just as a mistake, but as a full-blown catastrophe that could derail the party's entire political momentum just as we approach the all-important 2024 general elections. Let's unpack why this decision has caused such an uproar. The newly appointed CFO has been directly linked to some of the most egregious financial misconduct cases during the Zuma presidency. He was flagged in multiple reports of the state capture inquiry, implicated in facilitating irregular contracts worth hundreds of millions of rand at a major state-owned enterprise. The Auditor General himself raised red flags about this individual's conduct, citing serious breaches in procurement protocols and financial oversight. The companies that benefited from these dodgy deals. Many had connections to none other than the infamous Gupta family. Now, this isn't a case of some minor infraction being blown out of proportion. This is a person who, by all accounts, was a key enabler in the looting of public funds. Former Public Protector uMkhonto even recommended disciplinary action against him, citing a clear and consistent pattern of wrongdoing. And yet, in 2024, Jacob Zuma, himself already under intense scrutiny for his own role in state capture, has chosen to reward this man with one of the most sensitive positions in any political organization, Chief Financial Officer. It's no wonder that critics are calling this move political suicide. Democratic Alliance Shadow Minister for Finance, Dr. Deon George, was scathing in his assessment, saying, and I quote, "Appointing someone with this track record as your CFO is like hiring a known arsonist to manage your fire department." He continued, "It demonstrates either breathtaking arrogance or a complete disregard for ethical governance." The economic freedom fighters have also jumped in. National spokesperson Sina Waltambo didn't mince words either, saying the MKP is proving to be a sanctuary for the disgraced. He pointed out the painful irony that a party which claims to be founded on anti-corruption principles would make such an appointment as its first major executive decision. Even within the MKP's own ranks, there's reported turmoil. Several founding members have expressed deep discomfort with this move, worrying that it fatally undermines the party's credibility. Remember, the MKP has branded itself as a revolutionary alternative, a new hope for the disillusioned masses who are fed up with the corruption and incompetence of mainstream parties. But how can you sell a vision of change when your first significant appointment reeks of the very rot you claim to oppose? Political analyst Professor William Gumid offered perhaps the most damning critique. He called the appointment an ethical catastrophe, saying it completely contradicts MKP's stated mission and alienates the very voters it aims to attract. In his words, it hands ammunition to critics on a silver platter. And indeed, the backlash on social media has been brutal. Disillusioned citizens are asking how Zuma expects people to trust a party that looks like nothing more than a recycling bin for disgraced political operatives. It's not just about one appointment, it's about what this decision says regarding the party's values and its seriousness about accountability. Corruption Watch Executive Director Karam Singh put it best, "This isn't mere incompetence, it's rewarding failure with greater responsibility." That's a terrifying precedent, and it sends a devastating message to the public. It tells us that in the MKP, loyalty and loyalty alone is the currency that matters, not integrity, not competence, and certainly not justice. So, what does this mean for the future of the MKP? Well, if this controversy isn't swiftly addressed, it could completely derail the election strategy. The party was beginning to gain traction, particularly in KwaZulu-Natal, where Zuma remains a deeply influential figure. But scandals like this don't just disappear, they linger, they metastasize, and they dominate headlines. Already, instead of discussing policy, service delivery, or the plight of the unemployed youth, the MKP is now forced into damage control, desperately trying to justify what many see as the indefensible. It's also raised questions about whether Zuma has really changed or learned anything since the end of his presidency. This move suggests the answer is a resounding no. In fact, it highlights a persistent trend in Zuma's political career, rewarding those who protect him, regardless of their track record. Whether it was cabinet reshuffles during his presidency, the sidelining of whistleblowers, or now the CFO appointment, Zuma continues to place loyalty above all else. And that is not just a political mistake, it's a fundamental betrayal of the very voters he claims to represent. Millions of South Africans are desperate for change. They want leaders who understand their suffering, who will fight corruption, and who will govern with integrity. This kind of appointment shows that Zuma is not offering that change, he is offering more of the same, cloaked in revolutionary rhetoric. The question now is, will the MKP reverse this decision? Will there be consequences for such a reckless appointment? Or will the party dig in its heels and double down, risking the loss of credibility it hasn't even fully earned yet? One thing is clear, this is not a minor controversy. This is a watershed moment for the MKP. Either it learns from this fiasco and acts quickly to restore public trust, or it will be remembered as just another failed political vanity project, one that crashed and burned before it even got off the runway. And as for Zuma's broader political legacy, this latest move adds yet another stain to an already complicated and controversial chapter in South African history. In the complex game of South African politics, this wasn't a clever gambit or a strategic sacrifice. As one commentator noted, it was checkmate against himself. That's it for today's deep dive. What do you think about this shocking appointment? Is the MKP finished before it even begins, or is there a path to redemption? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story that matters. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay active in shaping the future of our democracy. See you next time.